Hey everybody, welcome to Behind the Moon. My name is Bobby.
Hello, my name is Selena from Essence of the Moon.
And I'm Ramon from Moon's Heart. Just kidding.
I saw that. Oh, like, whoops. Ramon's still on there.
I
I'm
know.
here, Heather, in my new channel by Brush Bone and Indigo Ash.
Yes, Ramon
I'm crazy.
is
That was so fun.
currently on vacation. He
Mm-hmm.
is visiting some incredible sites, and I'm not going to spill too much because he's going to be doing a live, he said, from there.
You said
And
potentially, right? Or no?
yes. Um, wow, we got people popping in. Hey, boo! I see you, Roman. That's a thing. It's going on my merchandise. I'm telling you guys
So
now.
I can't see the chat on here.
Oh no. Well, I'll take care of the chat because you're going to be leading us tonight. I would like to let everybody know what we're talking about. Heather is joining us for discussions on
Oh,
the
I see it. I see it. Never mind.
okay, the magic of art. And actually, we're gonna say hi to some people, and then I'm gonna hand the chair over to Selena. So we've got Julie, which Julie is going to be on Behind the Cards coming up in
Ooh, how
August.
Cool.
exciting.
I know. We got Witchy Best
Hey,
Friend,
Jess.
Faye the
Speaking of witchy art,
Forest,
she just did witchy art.
Yeah.
right?
Hey,
Um,
Faye.
all three of us do some form of art in one way or another, and we're going to talk about that and the other ways of raising power. Let me see who else is here. Joan Miranda. I'm never gonna get tired of that. Sonia,
Hi, Sonia.
Hello.
Roman, hey
Hey,
boo,
Roman.
Brienne,
I think
Mystic Love, Janet. I see. Do you guys
Hello.
Oh, Mystic Rose, somebody new for me. Hello.
when
Make sure you all sub to Heather on the live here, guys.
New
yes.
channel. I'm keeping the old one up, but I'm also, but as a kind of like a celebration. But this is the new one right now. So
So
new
yeah,
channel.
let's talk about that real quick. Heather did change her channel name. I changed my channel name a few months back. Heather changed hers recently.
She changed her name and the whole thing.
And
Like a
everything. You
Yeah,
whole,
want to
it's a
tell us
whole
about it?
new channel, not even
yeah.
the old channel. Yeah,
Tell
the
us
old channel.
about the new channel and what's going down, James Brown. Name included, everything.
So Indigo Jaguar has gone through multiple evolutions, and because I've been on YouTube now I'll be going on 4 years in November, and I wanted to go now that I moved to the other side of the country. It's a fresh start. It's something new for me. I need to start focusing on more on my art, my spirituality. And I figured, why not just do it and just do a whole complete new channel?
What a great idea. Where did you get an idea like that from?
And leave the other one up. There was another girl. I keep forgetting her name. She was English, but she left YouTube completely, but decided to leave up her channel, so that she can look back and others can look back on the shows and everything. So I wanted to keep that up because I've had so many, wonderful friendships that have come and gone, but I still love having the memories and everything that I did on that channel. But I wanted something fresh, something, new. And so I created the new channel. And the brush, of course, means brush as in a painting brush. I'm an artist, so that I needed to include my art. Bones is about basically me connecting to the past, my ancestors, moving forward. And of course, I can't give up the indigo because that's me, that's who I am. And the ash is also kind of like rising out of the ashes, but I'm also in a new town that's got the name Ashland. So it just all fit together, So I've had
Yeah.
people go, "Oh, it's a bit of a mouthful," but it's me. I
Sounds
love
like
it.
a
So
mouthful, Heather.
yeah, so I love it. It just
Hmm.
and the buy and by use by the and because people want to know about what's with the buy in that. If some people remember when I started out spiritually, that was in, late 80s, early 90s. And that's when books by DJ Conway, especially, she was one of my favorite authors. She would always do her books like by Feather, Fur, and Kin, or by Oak, Ash, and Thorn. And putting the by in there
That
just made
one.
me go back to that feeling I had when I first started learning about magic and paganism and spirituality. So, hey, Sash, ma'am. So,
So Gerald is going to be in the third chair next week. He is going to be filling in
Ooh.
for Ramon. I haven't even told Selena that he
No,
accepted
I
the
just found. I
invitation.
mean, we
I
talked
mean,
about you, Gerald, but we didn't. He didn't tell
we
me that
did.
you said yes.
I sent the invite. I mean, literally, I got out of the shower and this happened. I am running so late today. I did the 30-minute workout in like 15 minutes. It was crazy. Krista, everybody's showing up. Heather, your channel. One thing I wanted to say was by Brush, Bone, and Indigo Ash. So by Brush, I automatically I thought I live in the desert. So I'm like, oh, what a gorgeous picture she painted there.
the brush.
The
I lived in the
natural
desert too.
brush.
I lived in Arizona too. So
yeah, so
the
you know
brush
what
on
I'm
the
talking
pen,
about.
the fountain pen brush, because I also write, even though I do poetry. So that brush can
It's a
refer
very
to a paintbrush, a writing utensil. Again, too, brush. I lived in the desert, so I never thought of it too that way. So that's kind of cool.
great, great choice in names is what I was gonna say.
Yeah, definitely.
So Selena, I'm gonna hand everything over to you. Take the wheel.
Hi, everybody. So today we're talking about magic and art, or art and magic, however you want to talk about it. But there are many, many forms that incorporate magic, different types of art. So, for example, Heather makes some wonderful, she does a lot of paintings, beautiful paintings. And do you have any to show, Heather?
I pulled a couple right now. I'm currently working on that.
Hold on, let me embiggen you, as our
So
dear
that's the
Tarot
first
Star
time I've
says.
gotten to be able to do a painting on a canvas in a very long time. So I'm working
Heather, that's
on that.
gorgeous.
So, but I brought some of my circles out just because for me, painting lately, a lot of forms come through. People see things that I don't see.
Hmm.
I tend to see animals and figures, in my work. And one of them that I did have pulled out, because we are going into Litha, summer solstice this coming
Tomorrow.
weekend. And
I'll be leading our Kevin's ritual.
so this emerged on its
Ooh.
own. I
I
didn't even
love it.
intentionally do that. So for me, when it comes to magic, it's not, I don't know if it's necessarily magic or necessarily scrying. It's just the way that
Are you
communication
talking
comes
about
to me.
pulling images from, or pulling things from random images like that?
Like
Random
scrying.
patterns? Scrying. Yeah, Ramon and Selena, we all talked about divination one night, you
Hmm.
guys. And do you remember when he was talking about seeing patterns in things in the bathroom floor,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
painting walls? Yeah, that's what that reminds me of. What you're talking right there.
So when Heather sends me her paintings after she's done with them and she's, finished them up and I'm looking at them, I'm finding like 20 images. So that's how you can incorporate like that as a oracle deck when you're reading for somebody. You pull a card comes out for them and you're looking at those images, and whatever pops out first is whatever your guides, your higher self is trying to tell you to relay to that person. So
Yeah.
the longer you look at it, obviously you're going to get more images, but her paintings are exactly that. They're magic. They're so pretty.
Let's
And
talk
the
about that.
person who you're doing a reading for, they become a part of the reading, because it's not
Mhm.
only what I see, it's okay, now what do you see? What do you take from it? So, yeah, it's very interesting. I can hold that up and I can have people see, some of the same things or see something totally different. So,
Tarot works along the same lines, you guys.
mhm.
Think about it. You're pulling together different random images and putting them in a sentence form. Um, What is this?
McNemesis. Who is this?
I don't know. Hi, Aaron. I hope you're chill.
We like
Hold
chill
on.
here.
All right. Well, chill is good. You see, somebody asked me one time on my channel, what are the rules of your channel, Bobby? And I was like, basically, don't be a fucktwat. That's it. That's the rule. Okay.
Yeah.
So as you were saying, my dear.
Yeah, so there's different forms of art. Like I did my ancestors as well. Where are they at? So you can do any type of. So I bought these like on Amazon. These are just plain black.
Yep, that's what I use.
Yeah, these are just plain black cards, tarot cards.
Yes.
They come in their own little tuck box. And I forget how many are in here, but I use that. And then I use just a bunch of acrylic paint, like markers.
Those are cool.
And
I like those.
when I'm going to paint a card, I do go in, I mean, I do channel them, like my guides, to make sure that I'm channeling them the correct way. I'm getting their name. Like it takes me a couple of days sometimes to do one card, but that's because I'm really, you know, depending on what type of messages they're sending me and how they want me to make them look. Like all of mine have 0 faces on them. Only because I'm so weird at making faces, especially with like acrylic markers. And it's not gonna come out right. And I don't want to mess up their face. But then recently I came across the what's that tarot deck? Thought I had it with me.
Oh, thank you, Maruta.
Yeah, there's like a women tarot that doesn't have any faces on their images. You know, they're all women but no faces. So for me, that made sense. But that's how I do that. Like I channel them.
I like that.
I decide how I'm going to, you know, continue to draw them. And I have a couple more that have come through. And I'm going to be drawing them here soon. Once I get a moment to do that. I know.
I would like to get a deck of cards like that. You just gave me an idea. A deck of black cards.
Yeah, they're on Amazon. Like they have black ones, pink ones, white ones.
Yep.
I want the black ones, but I want to get a silver pen and make sigils and make a deck of sigils.
That would be cool.
These have like all the different colors, these acrylic markers, and they have like the thicker end and then the thinner end. So
sigils is one of my favorite forms of magic and art. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Sigils incorporates art and magic. That's what I love about it. When I make sigils, it's creating something beautiful. And honestly, my favorite sigil.
I love that deck. I can't wait to get it.
Oh yeah, the talisman. That's right here, baby. That's it.
That one has like the vellum paper that you can trace the sigils on. Like here's one that I did. I don't know if you can see it.
Hold on. Hold that thought. No, not you. There it is.
Is that better? No.
I know it's hard to show light color.
But yeah, that's like one of the sigils in that deck and in that book. And yeah.
That's what I want to do is make, and then a one word underneath the sigil, like strength or something, make my own day. So you inspired me. Awesome. And that's how art works, through inspiration. Exactly.
Linda and
Wanda. Hi, Linda. Welcome.
We've had several many people join us. So my favorite forms of art are singing. I can sing my spells.
I mean, Ramon does that. Yeah.
Ramon does that. Oh my gosh, that man's voice just kills me. I'm like, please let him crack. Please let him crack. Nope, he's perfect.
He a new one too. He's got temper out.
Yeah, I'm impressed with his skills.
His poetry is so profound and
I've
beautiful.
gotten to where I'm real picky about the songs that I sing along with because words are power.
Mm.
And if I'm singing about how broken my heart is, I'm basically creating that environment. So
Or
I
you can see
try.
it as a time to heal that wound and to visit with it and honor it, and to
Yeah.
be a that
This
could
is
be
something
seen
that
as a
has
healing too.
been known forever. Like, Lexi's here. Um,
Hi, Lexi.
Hi, Lexi.
Miss Lusciousness.
when I'm at karaoke, I
Oh, I love
love to get on stage and just sing the pain away. And when I do that, it's awesome because I do throw in a little bit of glamour magic. Um, so yeah, I'm all about the applause.
karaoke. Yep, just like the Lady Gaga song. It's all about the
Applause,
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 applause.
applause.
If you
I
don't know that
told you,
Lady
you
Gaga
said.
song, yeah. Anytime I say something musical, I know. And I thought it too, Heather, but I
And
didn't
it's
think
so weird
anyone knew
because
that
her one
Gaga
of her
song.
new songs is Abracadabra.
Yeah, that's right.
Because we were talking about magic and words and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, Abracadabra was her first single off her new album. So yeah.
What else you got on your list, my love?
Yeah, so I just happened to get this book sent to me by this new company that is just sending me books and decks and stuff to review. They're Cross Crow Books, and this arrived yesterday or 2 days ago. And today, as I'm getting ready for the show, I'm flipping through the book. So this is the title. It's called Advanced Witchcraft. Is it mirrored properly?
Let's find
Yes.
out.
Can y'all see it properly?
Yeah, it's readable. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, so it's Advanced Witchcraft, and it's by Patricia Telesco, and she's made other books. So I'm just flipping through.
Patricia Telesco. Oh my God, her teacher was my teacher when I was in
Really?
my 20s. Mm-hmm.
So then I come across
Oh, cool.
magical artistry. I was
My
like,
goodness.
what?
Oh.
How flipping perfect is that? But in this book, as I'm quickly just going through it, it talks about like music being a form of magic. So again, we're talking about the words like abracadabra. If you're like in a bad mood, and if you're singing a sad song, you just got to be careful what you put into your field. What you bring into your aura, your
Yes.
bubble. So you got to be careful with that. But it says dance is another form of art. So when you think about, for example, the Australians who do those like warrior dances that they do.
Yes, the hawk.
That and the Samoans in
Yes,
New Zealand too.
yes, New
I was
Zealand.
thinking and the
So
haka.
that's like another form of magic of art, because of it's like a protection that they're doing or a celebratory that they're doing. So that to me was really, really cool. So handcraft, so anything that is handmade, for example, in here they also mentioned the Guatemalan dolls, which we just happened to be getting from Miss Tarot
Yes,
D.
Zero D. Hold yours up because mine is in the bedroom. I actually used it the other
So
night,
cute.
and I had the best night's sleep I've had in a while.
So that's
Aw.
the Guatemalan doll that Miss Tarot D sent us. And this is what you tell your worries to this doll. It's a handmade. It's obviously from Guatemala. It's from small artisan
All right,
folks that make
mine
them.
looks different. I'm gonna go get mine while you guys talk. I'll be right back.
But that's another form of magic, is using these types of dolls, whatever it is you make. Like, for example, in Astaria Sen, her name is Summer. She molds like fairies, and molds them out of clay. And it takes her a while to mold her fairy, because she's channeling them. She's asking them, do you want your hair like this, or do you want your clothing like this? So that's again another form of magic and art.
So true.
For example, even like when we're using these pens and you're going to use a color intention for something that you're using, like you want to use the green for money magic, or you want to use yellow for happiness, or pink for love, red for love, black for darker stuff. But anything, anything you come across is magic,
Yeah.
is art. Again, it's up to you. You're the vessel that's going to be making it magic. You're the one that's going to be giving it its intention, its life form. Like you're the one doing all of that. But like sculpting and carving, even making a maze in a labyrinth. So when I was in Scotland a year ago, the beautiful artwork of these labyrinths that were made out of rocks by the beach, and just walking it, and as I'm walking through that labyrinth, for me, it was very therapeutic. It was very soothing, very calming. But I was also like meditating, like, telling myself certain things as I'm walking through it and navigating that labyrinth. So it's absolutely anything. Glamour magic is another one. So whenever you put on your makeup, you can use that as either like a beauty booster, which most people do, but you can do like an invisibility aura with it. So this is all coming from this book, guys. You can do an invisibility aura, and as you're putting it on, you want to kind of like protect yourself from anyone else that has bad intentions for you. So that's another way of doing that. Here's another one: safe camouflage, a pseudo persona. So again, that to me reminds me of say like the drag queens that put on the makeup and they completely change who they are.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So that's another way of glamour magic, of magic itself, art. It's also a form of shape shifting. So glamour magic is another form of shape shifting.
Glamour magic is secondhand to me now. I started with glamour magic at the age of 15, and now I don't even think twice about it. When I want to do a glamour spell, it's become second nature. It's mainly force of will the way I do it now. We'll do a whole show on glamour because that is a fascinating topic.
Okay, so let me tell you guys, I don't do my hair. I don't do my makeup. I work from home. There's no reason for me to do anything. I roll out of bed, put my hair up in a bun, wash my face, brush my teeth, get my coffee, start my morning ritual, and then I jump into work. I look like I'm homeless.
Oh my God.
When I'm at home, it's a miracle my husband still loves me. But when I come on the screen, putting on my makeup is a form of not only meditation for myself, it's another form of self-love, but it's also another form of protection. So the time I'm putting on my black eyeliner, that's a form of protection. When I'm incorporating that, anything like that is my form of magic.
I can't remember. I think it's Loretta Devine was on a TV show once, and she was talking about when she's getting ready. She looks in the mirror, leans in, says, "You pretty bitch." and that's how she starts her day. I do the same thing. I don't say pretty bitch, basically, but I listen to music that is going to create that aura around me for the day, that aura of positivity, that aura of power. If I have to deal with people that I don't necessarily want to deal with, there are songs for every occasion. Think about it. Every song, if you look at every song as a spell or a formula, and you start weaving together a playlist for a certain thing, that's a form of magic, and that's just something Krista does too.
Yeah.
You do the pretty bitch.
So what song do you sing to your coven?
Okay.
Yeah. That's the same thing. Has
Seek
anybody
is
seen
thou
the
the road
yes,
to all that's foul and fade.
What song is that?
Yeah,
Agatha All Along, the Disney Channel.
Agatha all
Oh,
along.
I've been hearing about that show.
Yeah.
Very good.
I love that. That we sing that. I'll start singing it, especially during wintertime when we got the bonfire going.
So
Bobby, is
another
this the
form
song
that
you
I'm
ever
thinking
sing
of,
And
at the
everybody
karaoke?
jumps in. Yeah.
yeah, another form is tattoos. When you're tattooing yourself, that's another form of magic. So I'm gonna just go ahead and stand up. Yeah, I mean, you have your. So what do you have there, Bobby? You want to pull yourself in the
Well,
big screen and show us what you got?
okay, I will show you this because this was done with magic in mind. So what I have here is basically the base of a sword. The only thing missing is the handle, right? The
Mhm.
dagger. I am the dagger. When I created, or this tattoo was placed on me, I went to a tattoo shop and I told the guy what I wanted, that I'm a witch and I need something for this is my active hand. I needed a little more power. I needed this. And we talked about it. And between that and my niece picking out the actual design when she was like 6, um,
I'm on my live.
I had spent the day with her. I had spent the day with her at the mall, and I had had enough of a 6-year-old. So we went to a tattoo parlor. I know I'm a rotten uncle, but um, we picked out a tattoo, and I told the guy what I wanted, and he created it with intention. He understood the assignment, and
Nice.
the plan was to get a snake coiled around the other arm for defense, so I would have active and defense, but I just never got back to it, and that was, oh gosh, 25 years ago.
Wow. So let me show you mine then. So
Yeah.
here I have Hecate's keys.
Oh, that's cool, Selena.
Yeah. And that's her torches. So a key and the skeleton key and the torches. Right here is a tarot card, but it's just called the Witch. So it's like an oracle card. And she has protective flowers. So she has poppy and hellebore. I'm going to be adding more flowers for protection.
Poppy is my birth flower.
Really?
Yeah.
As well as that. But the reason I put her on here, so when I am putting my oils on, so here's my oil, my transmutation oil, which is another form of art. I put it on her. I anoint her as I'm anointing myself. And anytime I put an oil on her, it is, for me, it's me doing my whole body with just doing her. So that's my intention, which is why I got her. So she is my
It's beautiful.
so she's like my talisman, my sigil.
Mm-hmm.
But also the first time that when I was getting tattooed and the first sheets that he was
Jules.
wiping off that had blood on them, I said, save those for
Save
me.
it.
Yep, I did that. I saved them and I went ahead and did a ritual to kind of like to seal that intention, that sigil, that magic into it.
Let's talk about that real quick, if you ladies don't mind. I know it's not part of art, but it does kind of relate to it. In my magic, at times, very rarely, for certain types of spells, will use my own blood. I don't do it often because it is a powerful. Blood is power, so don't waste it. It's magical coin. Make sure you use it. Apparently, but I have my diabetes monitor sticky thing.
Your
So
Lancets.
yeah, the Lancet. I'll just put
See,
out a
that's what I
couple
use when I'm
drops into my
drawing blood,
power.
and I'm using blood for magic.
Yeah.
I have Lancets that I use as well to draw blood.
The reason I bring this up is because the shop I used to work at had a painting of a generic feminine goddess type figure, But I kept looking at it. I kept looking at it, and I asked the lady who ran the shop, "Is there blood in that painting?" And she started laughing, and she said the whole painting is basically blood. That the artist used her own
Wow.
menstrual blood in the painting. And I'm thinking, A, cool. B, why would you give up something like that and just let it go? You know, that's sacred to me.
Yeah, so Zach Bagans Museum in Vegas, he has a painting that is also made out of blood, and it is of
Surprise there.
yeah, it's of Manson.
Oh my goodness, really?
Oh, Zach.
I know. I walked into that room and I'm like, what is going on in here? Like I was like not feeling good. I walked out and then that's when my husband said, well, that explains why you weren't feeling good because there was a painting there made out of somebody's blood and it was blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh, lovely.
Yeah, that's a sacred ingredient that you don't use in just everything. It's at least I believe that. I believe
Yeah.
it. It makes it
Yeah.
it makes the sacrifice you're giving less if you're just doing it all the time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Can I take a second, you guys? I want to show everybody what Miss
Hey
Tara
Tom.
sent. Not you.
Hey, Tom.
I want to show everybody what Miss Tarot D sent me. So she did send me
Speaking
the
of
little
magic
doll.
art, yeah.
Yeah,
And
that
glamour
woman
magic.
is
And
glamour
glamour,
magic.
I mean, come on, it's Tara D.
So I did get the little dolly.
Oh,
I did get the kitchen witch.
ooh, look at her hair. I
She's
love her hair
adorable.
that's
I love the
white.
smile on her face. It's so cute.
Yeah. And as a former hairstylist, that long hair is everything to me. I just love that. And she did send some Florida water.
Mm-hmm.
No, wait, this is the Florida water.
That's the
And
Florian one's the.
this is the altar spray.
Mm-hmm. Stuff smells yummy.
Oh my gosh, even the black salt she sent. Oh my goodness sakes, it smells so good. So yeah, there's all that. I just wanted to let everybody see what Miss Taro D sent because the video unboxing that I did, Selena knows this. I unboxed it at the same time as one of my birthday gifts from Joey Potts, the Veiled Cottage Witch. She sent me the Oracle deck for the Marvel Tarot. Yeah. And so the whole video is just me cussing like a drunken sailor. I mean, just foul language. And I sent Selena a text saying, is this offensive? Is this all right?
He's like,
And
check that 33 blah blah 01 or whatever. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh God.
And so by the time she went to look at it, I already talked myself into if it's that bad that you have to get outside opinions, it's probably
Coming
not.
from Bobby.
Yeah.
If
Me of
Bobby
all
thinks
people.
it's too much, it's too much.
Yeah. So I pulled it down. So that was supposed to be my unboxing, but sadly it didn't make it. But thank you, Miss Taro D. I love you. I love you.
So I incorporated Miss Taro D's with Ramon, who is like uber. I mean, this man is not only does he have a heart of gold, he is
Yeah.
uber talented. And just like he makes some sprays and some salts and some anointing oils. Like this man's incredible. He made me some pendulums. I was like, when do you have time to make all this?
I
I'm like,
know.
look at your
right?
lives that you're
Share
on.
the screen, boy. All right.
Yeah, I was like, how are you making all these things with all these lives that you're on?
Selena, long before I met you, Heather, do you remember last year sometime when somebody called me the Wish version of Ramon?
The what
What?
version of Ramon?
Yeah.
The Wish.
The Wish version of Ramon.
Like the Timu version.
The Timu version of Ramon. And it was said
Oh
in
my
jest and
gosh.
love. Hey, Tom's here. How you doing, Bo? Uh Miss Tarot D sent him a box of coal. How funny. Yeah, they
But look
called
at
me
this.
a budget
Ramon made
version
this.
of
So this
Ramon.
is like, his magic and his art. He made a pendulum.
I used to
Isn't
make
that
those
gorgeous,
too.
guys?
That's beautiful.
That is
I
beautiful.
mean, he made that one. He made this other form of a pendulum. It's an evil eye
Wow.
one.
Oh, I like it. See, you guys got skills.
I mean, I am like surrounded by flipping talented people and giving people, and I was in tears. Let me tell you guys, I was in tears yesterday after opening up Ramon's package. Wait, that just sounds wrong. Ramon's box.
Bum, bum, bum.
What? Mark the time. Mark the time.
Oh
35:50.
my
Okay.
goodness, 6:36.
I'm trying to laugh. Oh God. Sorry, sorry, Ramon. You didn't send me your
I
package.
didn't even say it. I'm over here blushing. Oh my god.
How hilarious.
Oh, I love him.
Ramon, yeah.
But yeah, so I was just in complete shock, and the artistic abilities that Ramon has is incredible. Just I mean, a lot of these people in the chats right now, a lot of them create stuff. A lot of them make magic and art in different forms.
Gerald
And all
has
just
his
so
knitting that he
incredible.
does. So I have a question for Gerald, who's watching in the crowd. Do you put intention into your knitting, Gerald, to create magical items?
His
And while
textile
he
art and
answers
stuff,
that,
his
I'm
tapestries.
assuming he does. He's a witch
Yeah,
who knows how to use magic
because
and energy.
that's like doing knot magic. You're putting knots into, like, in a form. You're putting knots into that
Yeah,
yarn. And I do knot magic when I'm sealing like any
I've
type of
known
bag
many
rituals
witches
or
who
anything like
do.
that. Yeah, like
They
I
call
incorporate
it
the
knit
things.
magic. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I just something too that I was looking up when we were talking about, magic used, by hand and created with intention. I don't, Bobby, I never got to see one. I don't know if you got to see one living in Arizona, but the Navajo have a practice when people need healing, or they need to go see the local medicine man or shaman. They go and they do these incredible full color paintings, sand paintings that can take several days to create. And
No, I
then they have the
haven't.
person sit in that painting and have them absorb the colors, the energies. It's like a communication, a doorway to talk to the gods, to prepare to talk to their gods, to their deities. And then once that ceremony or ritual is over, it gets, brushed out and returned to Mother Earth. So for me, that was one of the most beautiful types of
Hi,
art
Jay.
magic, through healing. Hey, Jay.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Um, when I'm creating any type of art. Now, when you guys talk about art, Heather, you're a true artist. You actually
Everybody
have
is.
the brush. When I create my art, I can't do straight lines anymore because of the brain
Mm-hmm.
surgery I had, but
I don't draw straight
I
lines.
do resin art, and it's not always about putting magic into your art.
Mm-hmm.
It's about the act of the art itself. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
knows I work with Hermes. Um, he is the god of craftsmen and creators. So when I create any type of craft, it's sacred to me.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not I'm creating something or trying to create a drawing, I used to draw very well um, before my surgery, or if I'm creating um, credit card clips. Um, you don't know what credit card clips?
Yeah, so we got both on my
Oh,
way.
is that the what?
I know. I saw two
That
heads
have
go.
long nails
I
so they
saw
can put
two.
the credit cards in?
Yeah, I saw two heads go. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Credit card clips. These are
But you can also use that for like when you're burning
Or
bay
business cards and stuff
if
too.
you
Yeah.
leaves
call them
or
anything but credit card clips, they become something else. So
like it's like a little cigarette thing, right?
Yeah, it's like a little cigarette holder. I
It can
make
also be
those.
a wand. Yeah.
Yeah, and I make the
Yeah.
little resin things at the end.
That's cool.
That's my thing. I also make.
I've seen a lot of
Yeah,
beautiful resin art. And Bobby too,
like a
when
beauty holder.
Virgil Keith was starting to go blind and she
Yeah.
couldn't paint anymore, for her to continue, when she lost one sense, she learned how to do sculpture and she couldn't see, but she could use her hands and feel. So we moved through different art. That's beautiful.
These are my
Different
little
forms of
trays.
Is that
art
your
form.
rolling tray?
It's a jewelry tray. I don't sell paraphernalia. Yeah, this.
Oh wow, look at
Oh, that's
that.
cool. Tom said
This.
Bobby and the esoteric roach clips.
That's pretty much
And
it.
Gerald said truth in advertising. And then he called it a roach holder, Tom. And then Joanne Miranda said 420.
And these are the bigger ones.
Who are you fooling, Bobby?
And you can make trays out of anything.
That's cool.
I have big like 12 by 12 ones that hang on the wall. They're the wooden canvases. And what I did was I cut a 1-inch space out of the back and turned them over and put resin on the back too. So now it's like hangs on the wall, and when company's gone, you take it off and use it. But yeah. People laugh at the fact that I do this, but it all stems from the fact that
It's a coping skill. It helps you, it relaxes you, it calms you, it brings you to, a connection with yourself, your materials, and it's like a form of meditation. So people can criticize you all you want, as long as you take enjoyment out of it and it helps you heal and stay healthy and positive.
Jess. You do need a rich link.
I'm thinking about it. I'm just about to hit 500, you guys. I think I need like 20 more people.
Woo-hoo, let's get the legs up, everybody.
Yeah.
Subscribe, shares, do all that fun stuff. Yeah, with Heather.
I'll have that within the month. I'm confident. And you're right. I do need a merch store. And George. Heather, did you see my encouragement to address Bobby's comment about true art?
Yeah, I tried sneaking that in there, Daryl. Yep, that's why I was just like, it doesn't matter what art, it's still art.
Yeah,
for all artists, and art is more than a paintbrush. It's anything.
Some of my wall art
creatively.
I had it. I've sold all my wall art already. Otherwise, I'd show you. But I don't just do 420 related art. I do beautiful scenes. If you guys go look at Resin Robert on Instagram, you'll see a bunch of my stuff there. Oh, I also make these cool little things. Hold on.
He's like a kid that can't.
So while we're doing that, here, I'm going to show you guys another form of my tattoo art. So this right here, can y'all see it? Or is it washed out? Right here?
It's a little washed out. I don't have any tats to show, so.
Is that washed out still? There it is. So right there is a bin rune. That's for mine and my husband's marriage.
Now you got
another form of art is having, besides the tattoos that I showed you guys on here for anointing, this is me, but I'm anointing myself. That's another form of is using the making a bin rune and having it tattooed, and then like we said earlier with saving that the towel that they're using to wipe down your blood and your plasma that's coming off, you use that in some form of like ritual art or sigil art, because it's technically considered like a sigil.
And some people are now turning ashes into loved ones that have passed into ink tattoos. So
Yeah.
you can now you have
Oh, yeah,
tools
yeah.
that you can mix
can
loved
do that?
ones, and they
Yeah,
can
you
become a
can put
part of
in
your
the, yeah,
tattoo in jewelry and tattoos. So yeah.
yeah.
Look at this, you guys. This is the softer side of Bobby. Okay.
Sip, sip, guys. Oh,
Perfect time for sip sip.
Got a little raccoon mug I made.
Nice and naughty. Aw.
And then my Christmas ones. I'm reversed right now. But yeah. So Bobby has a softer side.
aw.
Like the softer side of Sears. Remember
That's me.
that old slogan?
I'm adorable. So yeah.
Yes, you are.
Yes. So yeah, that's so Heather, what are you planning on doing with your art? Are you gonna start making cards, tarot cards,
Well,
or
I went ahead and found out that to have my cards scanned at the local UPS store and have it emailed to me, I think I can fit, he said, four, maybe five, properly. And every time they email 4 or 5 to me, it's $5. So I'm going to try that once, see what the results are, see if I like it. And if not, then I'll just keep them set aside. And as we get on our feet, I'll employ a local printing company to make sure that I keep business, local as much as possible to help people out here. And eventually, a little bit at a time, have them available at some point. Um, and something too with my artwork, and it made me think of something I had set aside for tonight. um, Back in the prehistoric times, I know people have seen the cave in France. It's called, I believe, and I pronounce it properly, Lascaux, and it's in France, and it was a cave that they discovered from thousands of years ago, where the people back then were doing sympathetic magic. They
oh,
were taking the coal from their fires. They're taking ochres, mixing them with clay, with animal fat. Like I said, nothing with the animals were put to waste. And they're finding these huge murals, painted, and a lot of them depicting, successful hunting scenes, so that they could put that energy out there before
No,
going
Gerald,
off.
I'm not ignoring it. I accept the wisdom that Harold is that Harold that Heather is laying down. Um, I know, I know. I accept that what I do is also art.
So
In
we
development.
even do that too, like with our talismans for them, painting, a positive hunt, or painting the animals in the area, was to like bring that energy so that they could go out and be able to survive, during the winter seasons and stuff. So it's still, to this day, it still all connects with whatever we put down, no matter how well we draw it, when the attention is there, whether it is to do magic, or if it's just putting that intention out, that, for me, painting is an expression of my happiness, of my life, my enjoyment, the energy I get from certain colors, however I'm feeling, excuse me, that day. And sometimes it's not to create magic or to intentionally do it, but it's just to enjoy. It's basically life force. Our creative energy
Mhm.
is our life force. And so whenever we find a way, whether it's with a crochet hook, Bobby's resins, Selena's paint markers, my paintbrushes, or crayons, whatever it is that you use, wherever we express that joy. Because to me, magic just isn't, doing a spell to affect some sort of change. Sometimes magic is just living in the moment, enjoying life, and feeling present within yourself, and connecting to just the spirit, on that level. So
you make a good point there. You don't always have to be creating magic. It doesn't always have to be some type of elaborate, grandiose thing.
mhm.
Um,
Sometimes you just want to swim in magic.
yes,
Yeah.
and just go with the flow. So you don't have to,
Exactly.
make something huge and productive in, a big
Yeah.
orchestra thing. But so I do want to just remind everybody that it doesn't. There's times where I do like unintended, like, my morning rituals. I do, if I'm not going to do anything like a big ritual, I'll be doing like stirring my coffee with intention, normal, simple stuff like that. Lighting
Mhm.
incense,
Yeah.
Pulling one tarot card for myself or an oracle card. It doesn't always have to be this grand, elaborate magic, you know. So just a reminder that you don't have to constantly to be considered a witch or be considered magical or spiritual. You don't have to always be putting this big
Because I
orchestra.
don't do
Ritualistic.
magic myself, because I don't know if I ever really connected with my magic or ever saw anything really that was any fruitful, um, not fruitful, but any results, strong results. So I thought, well, so for me, I'm not sure if where I've moved, I know that I'm feeling it more. So this may be the place where I tap into, that inner magician,
The
that
spirit
inner
of the
high
land
priestess.
always, at least in my
And so
opinion,
we'll
the
see.
spirit of the land matters.
And it's coming through my art already here. I mean, I did that, and I'm just like it's. I almost start crying. It's like I've missed just the act of just putting the brush and just doing this.
Oh, I love that
It's
for you.
it's hard to explain for me the feeling I get. If it's yes, it is magic that I'm creating. It's magic with no focused intent on bringing love or money or abundance. It's just the act or the attention of just let me see something that brings me joy, brings me happy, and if others love it too, I get excited when I show my
Well, you're
work to
showing
other
yourself
people.
love as well by doing that. Self
Yes,
love by
self
doing
love
that.
magic.
So
Yep.
self love ritual while you're painting something that is, calling to you. So yeah, it completely all of that stuff
And I
is
love I
magic,
love
is
the
art.
title of Art Witch too. I came across that on Pinterest, so maybe that is what I don't know. But
I think
at
you are,
don't.
Heather.
Okay,
at
look. First of
55,
all,
I'm rediscovering myself. So we'll see
don't
where things
try to
go.
fit into somebody
Mm-mm.
else's definition of what an art witch
Exactly.
is. If
Yeah.
you
All different.
feel
Yep.
magic when you do create art, that's magic. So
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to show this in the Thoth Tarot. The
Oh, I love that
Temperance
card. That's
card
cool.
is replaced by a card called Art. It speaks of blending different things together to create the healing that's needed.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that is what magic is. It is the result of art. Whether you're blending herbs, creating a picture, singing your songs, or just talking um, throughout the day, whatever. It's blending things together to create magic.
Yeah. You gotta read Tom or Gerald's
Oh,
comment.
let me get back into my phone. Which
Both of
chat?
us. Both of us. Um, yes,
Good
I
one.
admit
Mm-hmm.
when I'm
We
working,
are a reflection for each other.
my favorite thing to do when I'm doing resin work is, and it's just warm enough now for me to start doing it again, um, is to watch videos on Hermes while I do it. And it's just my time to get in touch with that part of myself and touch myself in that special way.
Now I got the divinos in my head.
Oh, the
I trust
divinos.
you. Okay.
Yeah. What else do you
Yeah,
have
so
in that
putting
book,
music
Selena?
on while you're doing art, that's
Yes.
that
Oh,
that helps magic,
speaking of
all of that.
music,
Mm-hmm.
there's one song I love to sing. Because it's funny. It's by an artist called Todrick Hall. Um, and the chorus is "You ain't shit, and your mama ain't shit, and your daddy ain't shit. You ain't shit." That's the whole funny part of
Oh
it.
my
You got to
god.
hear it. It's hilarious. But um, I don't sing that song when I'm getting ready anymore because I realized I was looking at myself while I'm combing my hair and singing "You ain't shit." No, we can't have that. No, so I don't sing that song anymore. I will
Yeah.
skip over it. I removed it from my
Yeah.
playlist. Um,
One of my favorite songs, every time is Police. Every little thing she does is magic. That's one of my favorite songs, of all time.
the entire Xanadu soundtrack for
Yeah.
me. I'm sorry. I love that movie.
Yeah. Helps you go right into the mural. Goes
Yeah.
into
I
the primary
ran
dimension.
myself into mural after mural. I did.
Why isn't this
Nothing.
working for me?
Why isn't it working? What else is in the book there you got, dear?
So we talked about the glamour magic. So we're gonna have a show on that, guys.
Yes.
That
Glamour.
sounds cool.
That would be very fun. I think we can probably have a guest on here for that too.
I think Miss
we
Carol
may
D would
have a
make a great guest
panel.
for that.
I think,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Just
think that's what
saying.
she was talking about. All right, glamour idea.
Yeah, so we have to do a glamour one. So that kind of reminds me, hey, Gerald, with your mustache, do you do anything like a ritual? No,
I'm sorry.
something about glamour magic, and to me is glamour. Like his mustache is glamour. So do you do any type of intention while you're getting your mustache ready for the day for live?
Yeah.
Like, do you put any type of intention or magic into that? Like, to me is glamour magic.
It's do it. So, but yeah, I know before I do a show, I always take a bath. I cleanse the energy off from the day. I sit down, I meditate, I get grounded, I spritz Miss Tarot D spray. So for me, yeah, that's a pre-ritual, taking care of your body.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of different forms of glamour magic. It doesn't have to be makeup. It doesn't have to be any of that stuff. It can be how you do your hair, how you do your mustache.
What shoes you wear, what pants you put on.
I mean, all of that is.
We don't dress the same way when we're going to Walmart.
He's going to be the fourth pillar of the Magus to keep silent. I love it.
Okay.
But no, I mean, to me, like when I see his picture, to me, the mustache is it's like it like really calls out. And to me, it's like we're just talking about glamour magic.
It's such a cool mustache.
Yeah, it is.
They made a whole emoji around it.
Yeah.
True. They still use a little bit of a curve, but Longstash, I can't think of Richie. He went the handlebar way too. So,
do you know? I saw how they do it. Finally, I watched a short on it on YouTube. Apparently, they grow their mustache straight down and then pull it out. It makes sense. I didn't even think about that. For some reason, I'm thinking it will grow out this way. Nope, straight down. Boom.
Huh.
Selena, did you see what Tom wrote? Selena, Gerald is more than his mustache. His eyes are up here.
Poor Gerald.
Oh, that's a good one, Tom. Tom's on fire tonight. I'm telling you.
He's always hilarious. He cracks.
Speaking of Tom, hopefully we can have him and I do a video together. Because we both ordered the same, speaking of magic and art, we both ordered the same Travis McHenry deck, which we know he's very occultish, very dark. Well, he has, it should be like being shipped out soon, because we had to send in our, like double check our address. Oh, sounds like July sometime. So it's the Baphomet Tarot deck.
Oh, cool! I would like to get my friends that.
Yeah.
I would like to, I'm still after the Sabbath Tarot. If you guys haven't seen it, it's I don't want to say pornographic.
That's the link you sent me?
That's the link I sent you.
See, so that's art as well.
It's naked. It's full of naked dudes.
It is, but it's art. Because when I'm looking at it, it was very explicit, yes, but the art form that goes into
the oil painting farm. If you liked Night Gallery growing up, you guys,
wow,
you're gonna love this freaking deck. That's exactly what the art reminds me of, is the Night Gallery paintings at the beginning.
Yeah. So on here it talks about also domestic art, and I was quickly look over, and it talks about kitchen witches.
Kitchen witches.
So when you're, for example, my friend Sophie, the Midwest magician, who's, I mean, I don't want to put her in a bubble of a kitchen witch, but she does a lot of really good cooking. When she's making her sourdough bread and she's putting herbs and the lines through them and intention into them, that's another form of art magic.
Mm-hmm.
How
Joey's
how you do all of that. Yeah.
Joey's a kitchen witch / cottage witch. She creates art. I mean, to watch her work when she's mixing up herbs is a joy. It's really a pleasure because a lot of those herbs come from her very own garden, you guys. So if you're interested in some really good products, look up the veilcottagewitch.com and check it out. You could also book an appointment with me through the veilcottagewitch.com.
Yeah, so this is one that she sent that I purchased from her. It's a skin calming sacred facial toner with witch hazel, lavender buds, chamomile flowers, aloe vera, chamomile essential oils.
Ooh,
And it is so soothing. And the scent itself, it's just magical. Like everything that Joey does is magic. She sent me a flying ointment, which I use.
Every little thing she does is
So, but for the domestic arts, like for example, like I said, with stirring your coffee with intention, that's on here. Stirring it clockwise to bring, say, abundance towards you, or if you want to do it counterclockwise to get rid of something. Baking bread on a waxing moon for the best, healthiest results. So even
sweeping out your house.
The kitchen witch is making art, is making magic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to be friends with a girl back in New York, and she was into folk magic, and she was pagan, but she also was raised Catholic, and she's still connected to some of the things that her grandmothers and the grandmothers, especially Italian, doesn't matter if they're Catholic, they knew how to do magic in the kitchen. They knew how to get a hold of somebody's hair or do this or that. They were crafty ladies, the strega. And she would tell me, about learning things. There's some things in folk magic books that they will and they will not share, but how, like we were talking about earlier, our blood or anything from our bodies, things like that being put into foods to affect,
Yeah.
whether good magic, bad magic, or whatever. But yeah,
Did Yadira come in?
She did. I just saw her. Food creation is magical AF.
Yep.
So like, I think we talked about putting intention in your food. Like if I'm in a bad mood, I try not to cook because I know I'm going to put all of that into my food and I'm going to harm my husband. Unless I intentionally want to harm them, then I'll do that. But I don't. So I don't want to do that. But like today I made lasagna for him for dinner, which dinner was like at 2 p.m. for us because he works night shift. But when I'm making the food and getting it all ready, even the water, when I'm boiling the noodles, I'm putting all that intention into all of that to help him,
That is,
he went to bed happy and then he got up and went to work. So yeah.
What was that movie with Sarah Michelle Gellar where she was a chef?
Yes, and she would cry, and the people would start crying if she was crying and making food. Yeah. Maru, I know you're in here.
That's a great example.
That is a really good one.
Yeah. The blending of ingredients. One thing becomes something else, and then you consume it. The cycle goes on. That is ritual. Exactly.
Coming from
early ritual.
Oh, like water for chocolate. Thank you, Julianne. Yes, like water for chocolate. That's such a good.
Never have guessed that. Thanks, Julie.
Yeah, that's such a good movie, and it talks about them. Shows you what your intention.
And chocolate.
Yeah.
Oh, so
with the chocolate. And
movies are another form of magic. Yeah. Movies, TV, that's creation right there. And some people have caught on. A lot of people on YouTube create magic with their videos, with chant videos or meditation videos. It's a
great. Bye, Gerald. Have fun.
Night, Gerald. See you next week. I'll be in touch with you about the thumbnail thingy. Yes, for those who didn't catch it before, Gerald is going to play third chair for us next week while Ramon is out. The magic of art. What do I think of when I think of that? I think of Night Gallery, honestly. That's what made me bring up the movies and
Fantasia
TV.
too.
Fantasia. What a
Both of them.
great movie.
Especially the second one that came out at the end where the mountain exploded, the volcano, and that stag, the monarch of the woods came and encouraged the fairy, the spirit of the forest, to reawaken, to come out of her mourning and to bring everything back to life. So a lot of powerful, stories and imagery through the Fantasia movies with Disney.
The cartoons I grew up with kind of set the stage for me, like Bewitched. That the TV show Bewitched kind of set the stage for a lot of us.
Yeah, I could never do that. I was like, why can't I wiggle my nose?
I didn't want to be Samantha. I wanted to be Endora. I wanted to be that bad bitch.
Yeah.
Or spinning around outside trying to turn into Wonder Woman. Why is it work for Linda Carter and it doesn't work for me?
Yeah.
I could just picture Heather in the backyard. It's not working.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's so many things that you can incorporate magic into art. I mean,
sigil
Yeah.
magic is art. That is exactly what it is. You're creating an image with intention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even writing your spells in a book, your grimoire.
Yes.
That's the same thing. You're writing it into paper and making it something more permanent, more visible for you to see, because a lot of times you don't get to see the outcome of your magic. It's you're visualizing, you're putting your intention out there. But when you're writing it down and writing what you think the results are, again, same thing.
And just assume it's going to work, people. When you're creating magic, don't say
poetry too, right?
I hope this works. Poetry, one of the greatest forms of poetry and music.
That I would love to do is poetry. And sometimes it sounds like spell, sometimes it's not, but it's just the idea of weaving words to get a feeling or an image and putting that down on paper and feeling that energy. And I love to share it with others, just like the art.
So Lemon Smith is coming out with a new book. It drops tomorrow, and it's a poetry book.
Another one.
Lenna's coming out with a book?
She's inspiring me.
I have a PDF of it. You want me to read you guys some of the stuff on there? It's called Feral Monologue.
Feral.
So let me go grab my iPad. 1 second.
Okay.
Yeah, she inspires me. I hope to be able to do that. Make some books of my poetry. That would be cool.
Yeah, so she sent me a PDF of it so that I could review it and look over some things before she.
I remember that. Esmeralda and Aunt Clara. I wanted to be Endora. I ended up being Aunt Clara. How funny.
Can y'all see that?
No, hold on.
Nope. You also gotta love the movie Practical Magic too. Also.
No, see that?
It's a little bit hard to see.
A little washed out.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Midnight Margaritas. That was a great movie.
Is that better? No?
There we go.
Yeah, well, tilted down. Yeah. Got it.
Okay.
Feral Monologue. It's so flipping good, guys. Let me read some of this for you guys. She is ridiculously talented when it comes to. Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We can hear you, but where'd you go?
You can't see me?
No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Hijo de tu madre. So her different themes on here, it's birth, sensitivity, imagination, purity, not a phase, value, uninhibited, love, identity, beauty. So it goes through like from birth all the way to rebirth to death to new world. And her stuff is incredible. Like she talks about laboring a baby and what it feels like. She said here it starts off with feels like a bowel movement is imminent. Go to the bathroom, sit on the toilet. Her stuff is so witty and so funny. Expanding pain, blood is vitality. So we talked about blood. And here a poem is blood is vitality. It runs like quaking rivers through your whole body. Depending on different reactions, the body speaks and the blood listens. Intended to shiver the brain, muse of weaving veins, a oxygenated current of language until the internal pooling.
Wow.
So her
She's
stuff
phenomenal.
is absolutely amazing. Rites of passage. The time has come, dearie. Go now, young one, away. Take the path laid for you, and there do not veer or sway. Surviving here in wilderness is but only your first right. This quest is yours alone, and will show you your might. Stay but the allotted time. A bell shall sound in the skies. Weary little one, your journey. The passage is right with lies. Should you not heed the call, or you find yourself distraught, think quick on your toes, or you'll forever be lost. She has her poetry is ridiculously. It like I mean, a lot of it speaks to me. She even adds it into her oracle decks. So this one is an Eden Kiss. It's a poetic version. Can y'all see that?
Oh, I love that deck. Eden's Kiss.
Yeah. So it's
Well,
Lilith loved her heavenly eyes. Eve loved her devilish smile. And she puts poetry on her decks here.
Wow.
that deck, you guys, is a mix of Lilith and Eve.
Did she create that deck herself, Leonard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
So that one says blood moon emotions. And then here is wet is the bound heart, quaking and red threads, together forever in delicate glistening webs.
Oh,
Right.
A little milky, but you all
I
see
love
that?
it. It comes at it from the approach of if Lilith and Eve
Yeah.
were a thing.
Correct. As if they were having an affair.
Yeah.
Well, in the TV show Lucifer, Lilith's daughter Mazikeen, one of the Lilium, she ended up marrying Eve. Eve got
Eve,
sick of
yeah.
Adam, left Adam, and came and got married to Lilith's daughter.
I remember.
Yeah. So that one says disconnect to resurrect. So her head's disconnected from the body.
Thank you,
Wow.
Maru.
Yeah.
Maru
So-
that just posted Lennon's link.
Yeah. So I'm going to do a video tonight on Lennon's poetry and then post it tomorrow for the drop of her new poetry book that's going to come out on Amazon.
Huh, I misspelled her name. It's two N's in the front, not the back. Huh. All right.
Self-pleasure is here's self-pleasure is and self-pleasure is not. Do you guys want me to read that since we're talking about?
Why the hell not? Now I'm intrigued. Let it.
So it says self-pleasure is lubricant conjured from bowels of self. Godly fingers caress and drip, brow slick as a hammer. The flames lick a siphon, spoiling the picture of prospect, corrupting the lech of flesh, wicked in its gloriousness. Fall fiendlessly on the plights, and the damned wedding, a choir on trampling stirrups you found in the wild fields. Good and cloaked in oversight, a premeditated affair to digits, screaming in ecstasy, with poised necklines and tangled sheets.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, this is this is magic. Like it's a spell. These are spells that she has in here.
What a great approach. I like that.
Yeah, these are spells. These are Lennon spells.
Um, for everybody who is not subscribed to Lennon's channel, Maru just posted the link to that, so
Yes.
you could. I want to get that deck. I'm partial to decks that buck tradition.
Buckneck.
Yeah, that one's very I can't post the images, like do a walkthrough, because it's very explicit,
Yeah.
but it's beautiful. Such in the poetry that's included in it. It's
See, that's the thing.
magic.
Am I going to be able to post my video when I finally get the Sabbath Tarot if I do an unboxing? Do I have to give an adult content warning? I'm going to have to look into that because it is art. It's just a lot of pitos in those decks. I mean,
Very fleshy.
You said
it's very fleshy. Yeah.
so. You said yeah. It is
Yes, I
very.
said. Oh, I did. I said pito. Yeah.
You did.
Uh,
But yeah, so I mean, there's so many different forms of art and magic. It's yeah, I mean, I feel privileged to be able to make this stuff, you know.
it's cool that this is one of the last topics we're going to touch on is the music and poetry, because you are exactly right. That is creating magic. This is what we were talking about earlier about not singing certain songs when you're standing in the mirror looking at yourself directing that power at you like I was.
Yeah.
You guys should have seen my face when I realized what I was doing. It was one of those what the hell moments. So yeah, but my poetry used to be pretty good when I was young, but I couldn't get anybody to really pay attention to it, so I stopped writing, and that's a mistake. I should
Yeah.
write for me, but I was young,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
I was really good. This is like I think I haven't written anything in like 15 years.
When
Hey,
I was in
Laura.
my 20s, we had a lady that was a friend, was the mother of one of the girls I went to high school and college with. Her mom's name was Anna, and she lived by bare means, but she would invite some of us from college, the young women, and we would come to her apartment. She would have like muffins and some tea for us, and whatever we wanted to share, poetry, art, anything. She opened up her home and held space for us to talk about what was going on in our lives as young women. And I will always remember that. I would love to be able to do that, something like myself for the younger generation as well at some point. So it's women like that, people like that, that you remember the most, that did that for you and reminds you that there is, like, I don't know if it was Bobby or somebody was on Facebook, someone had posted about how women, are encouraged to fight, one another,
Well,
and to
that
beat
was
each
me.
other. That was you. And I just remember
Yeah.
seeing that and going, oh my God, there's just so much now. When I was younger, there wasn't that much of it, but now it's like women are encouraged to call each other debasing names, to be on
Yeah.
reality shows, things and stuff and whatnot. And that leaves the impression for the younger women, well, that's how I have to be in power myself. I have to power over other women and demean or debase them. And instead, it's like, let's start turning, you know, let's start changing us. Let's end that cycle and start empowering one another. And it's so important. You can do that through music, the music you listen to, the artists that you look at, what goes on in your local community. The more that we empower, and support one another, there's a magic in that, no matter how, and a lot of it's by cultural, by dance, music,
Mhm.
arts. That's the universal language, of
See,
peace and community and love is
Well,
that
that's the language that
self-expression.
everybody understands, even if you don't speak the
Mm-hmm.
same, English, Spanish, French, Italian. Everyone speaks art.
You think
I
that
can't do it.
if you don't cry during a beautiful ballet show,
Oh, I
then
have.
you have
Oh,
no
I'm a
soul.
crybaby. When I'm
Right.
watching even like those stupid rom-coms, and there's
Yeah.
like a happy ending, I'm like crying. My husband's like, "What's wrong with you?"
First time
Hey,
my
even Shan
husband saw me
cries. Yeah,
cry. And Shan's a pretty badass dude.
Shan cries
First
too.
time
Yeah.
my husband saw me, I always hold it in when we watch stuff. I'm like, but this one it started coming down my eye, and I was like, "Stupid show!" So now that's the thing. Every time he thinks I'm gonna cry, I go, "Stupid show."
Yeah. Or
Um,
crying for complete strangers on social media when they have a video of like a dog being rescued. Oh my God, I'm like bawling.
Yeah.
You know,
the dog's being reunited with their
yeah, I'm a hot mess. Anything like on Dodo, I'm like crying.
Or they have
yeah.
servicemen and women coming back, and their
Yes.
dogs haven't
Those are the
seen them,
ones.
and
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
just going ape shit for
And it
Yeah.
I
takes a
mean, yeah.
minute for the dog to recognize them,
I
and you can see what
And
know.
they
sometimes it's
do.
instant. They just
Yeah.
know it's my owner, and yeah,
My friend, yeah.
it makes me want
Uh,
to cry too.
it does. That was the other thing I wanted to say. I wrote down slam because a lot of my poetry was slam poetry.
Mm.
um,
Can you
so
explain what slam poetry is for people that don't know what that is?
slam poetry is poetry used to express political ideals or socio-political ideals, um, to stand up to it, to slam your foot down, kind of. Um, and so I was a little activist my whole life. I've been involved with gay pride festivals, and a lot of my stuff was pretty angry for a long
Mhm.
time. So that was the other
Yeah.
reason why people didn't like it. Um, but it was either angry or sexual. Um,
So angry sex.
angry sex, the best kind. Um, yeah, I was not the same
Yeah.
lighthearted Bobby you see today. I'm this way
Well, we
because of
grow.
what I
We
was at
change.
that point in my
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, tattoos. Do you guys believe that you could have a magic sigil put on and have that sigil be activated
Yes.
permanently?
hmm
Hmm.
So like behind my arms, I have the elements. So when I'm working with stuff, I
Uh-huh.
already have the elements on my arms. So that's another way of like I have all the elements with me at all time. You have that too, Bobby?
Yeah, but look, I was
Ooh, I see that.
okay, so what it is, it's a pair of shears with a hairlock going through it, with a heart connecting the blades, and then stars
Oh
on the
wow.
outside. The stars are earth, air, fire, water, and the little connector in the center is spirit.
Oh,
Here.
that's cool.
So it's thought cutting through matter.
I have low pain tolerance, so I've never gotten a tattoo.
Love
Very
it.
cool.
Go back there, and then here's the other ones, Bobby.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
You guys can't show all your tattoos, huh?
And then like this is now, this is like just birds, and then my one son that I lost. So yeah.
Yeah, one of the greatest days of my life was when I was in a restaurant and somebody stopped me and said, "Are those supposed to be the elements?" And I was like, "Yes!" Nobody ever gets that. So yeah, that
Yeah.
was
And
awesome.
then I have like a potion bottle right here.
I'm gonna get
Aw.
those the torches, because that symbol that you have right there is the symbol that I have. Go back and look at the picture I sent you of my altar.
Really?
That's the picture that I have standing behind Hecate, and I have the caduceus for Hermes. But yeah, those are on my altar. So I want to
Hmm,
get those tattooed on my body. That exact set of keys that you have,
really?
torches. Yeah,
I love keys.
Yeah.
I've always have as a child. Always been
torches and
fascinated with them.
keys.
Yeah.
Torches and keys. So Heather, do you have anything coming up?
Yeah, tomorrow night, Allison and I on our regular Friday show, and then on Monday, Nancy and I will be back for the Sacred Feminine, and Ginger Faye will be joining us because it's summer solstice. It's Litha this weekend, and we're going to be looking at goddesses, divine feminine archetypes, energy of that connected to the Fae. So I'm going to be, sharing Morgan Le Fay. I believe Ginger's going to be talking about Danu, and we don't know quite sure who Nancy's going to talk about, but there's also Ane, there's Maeve, Queen of the Fairies. So yeah, we're going to be talking everything elemental and Fae and divine feminine on Monday, and tomorrow night, Alice and I'll be talking about Litha as well and summer solstice. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the two shows now that my internet's finally holding up. So yes, very happy.
Poor Allison. We did a show one time, and after it was at a really, really bad point in my life recently. I don't like to talk about how bad it gets sometimes, but I mean, I started losing weight, and it scared me. I mean, because I'd lost weight rapidly. So she saw me freaking out backstage, and I felt bad that I unloaded on her. So apologize for me.
No. Well, she's very supportive and has a lot of knowledge about
It turns
food
out one
and
of my
food and stuff,
medications
and
had,
so
yeah,
she doesn't mind helping people out with that. So yeah,
one of
she
my
used to be a
meds had
trainer and healer.
stopped
So.
working. My meds had stopped working. That was also
Oh yeah,
I had
they
to.
happened to me in 2018. When sometimes they do, and we got to get back on our feet. So
Yeah, so I'm
we
working
hold
on.
space for each other. So
I'm
yeah.
putting weight back on nicely, and I'm making it muscle.
Hi, internally.
I've been going
There
to
you
the
go.
gym.
Yeah. Yeah, Jonathan
Uh,
Daly's been showing me pictures too. Like, look at me. And I'm like, wow.
I know he
Yeah.
was my inspiration.
Was he? Yeah.
He was, and I told him so. Seeing
Yeah, Shannon just got a
his
total gym,
progress.
a Chuck Norris total gym to help with his hip and his
Shut up!
body.
Really?
And so I've been looking at it, but I just not motivated. I don't have the energy. So hopefully at some point I'll get my ass on it because I've been the opposite. You've lost weight, me. It's all come on. So yeah, I've got a
Yeah,
lot of
but
work
to
to
be
do.
fair, Heather, you've been under stress for the past year.
Yeah.
You were
Yeah.
freaking out. All right.
Yeah, I was doing my best not to freak out too much, but so I'm sure
Please, you
some of
We
us
run
took
are
with
explaining.
it
psychics and witches.
intentionally.
Yeah. So to be fair,
This will
you were
take a
under a
while.
lot of
Yeah,
stress, and you handled it like a champ.
I
You did what
tried.
you had to do, and you got yourself out of the situation you were in. So,
Yeah.
and Bobby don't run with no punk bitches. Just letting you know.
I love that.
Tells me that all the time.
I tell Selena that all the time. It's like, don't doubt yourself. I don't run with no punk bitches. And Selena, what do you have coming up?
Nothing this week, but next week I have besides our show, Kara from Pagan Crafting. We're going to be doing Divination Divas again. We did that back around Cinco de Mayo time, and we're going to be doing a live live readings.
Yeah, she does a lot of art magic on her channel.
Yeah, she does. She's really good with art magic.
I was so glad to meet her through you guys. That was so
I
cool.
know. I love her. She's such a cool person.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Definitely
want
check out her
everybody
channel.
to know, because of Linda de Gonzalez, I went and bought myself.
Oh, I love Linda.
Yeah, I went and got myself a planner because I told her I'm just losing track of everything. She basically said, "Hey, dumbass, go get a planner."
I can see her saying that too.
I love her.
She didn't say that, but that was the
The underlining message.
Yeah. So I don't really have much coming. Yeah, I do. I'm lying. I got a bunch of crap.
You have Julianne coming on.
That's not till August. So
Oh,
yeah, her schedule doesn't permit sooner, but we have Monday, Hunter Salazar. If you guys don't know who Hunter Salazar is, he's the devotee of Kali, Ma Kali to be specific.
Oh wow.
So if you'd like to learn more about him before our show on Monday, he's going to be on Epithets. Please check out and subscribe to his channel, Hunter Salazar. And then
I love that name, Hunter. I love that.
We were supposed to have Yadira next week, and then I thought Gerald was going to do it, but I think there was a communication problem. He can't do next week.
Yeah. Yeah, he was
Um,
moving and dealing with that stuff.
So it's pretty much probably going to be me and Selena. I'll have you all to myself, girl.
Oh,
That's
Yes.
awesome. And then on the 28th, I've got my show that I do once a month with Karen, Care Bear Bard of Cards, where we do the energy of the new sign that's coming.
Zodiac.
Yeah. And so we will be talking about Cancer and doing Cancer readings. Not readings to see if you have Cancer. We are reading the energy of the zodiac sign Cancer. Let me say that now because somebody will show up. I thought that.
yeah, it happens.
But yeah, so I want to thank Miss Heather for
Thank
joining
you guys for having
Selena
me.
and I.
Thank you.
It's been a blast.
It's an honor to be invited. Thank you.
If you missed the show, go back and watch the playback. We talked about the magic of art, and we got some new show ideas too. I've been keeping notes. So you guys stick around and we'll talk backstage, okay?
Sounds good.
I love you. I
Love
love you
you guys.
all.
Everybody,
Thank you
thank
so
you for
much.
coming.
Bye. I gotta go eat.
See you later.